You just go in with vibes and inshallah, and then you get the shock, the rude shock. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nelly, and if you're new here, I make content around fashion, beauty, lifestyle, travel, and everything in between. So if this is your first time coming across this space and you like what you see, what you hear, I highly recommend that you subscribe, leave a comment down below saying hi, and share if you care. And if you're an oldie but a goodie, thank you so much for tuning in once again. I'm so glad to be in your company. So this week's video is a sit down video, and it is in line with a video I created in January, which was just start creating content, just start. It was a beginner's guide into content creation in 2022, and this video sort of like follows up the fire that I ignited in most of you, and I'm so glad that it resonated with so many of you, and it was the kick that you needed to create. So this is sort of like a follow-up to that, and I have the intention of creating other pieces of content under the same umbrella. So let's dig in without further ado. This video has been sponsored by Skillshare. If you don't know about Skillshare, please allow me to just brief you a little bit. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of online classes and members across 150 countries who have come together to find inspiration and then take the next step in their creative journey. Skillshare is a place where you come to learn new skills and then implement them in impactful ways. I am a Skillshare member, and I have gained tremendously when it comes to acquiring skills for my not only content creation side of things, but also in my formal employment. Something like project planning is something that has helped me tremendously, because I run a lot of projects simultaneously, and just keeping everything on track is one of the best classes that I have taken and that I highly recommend. A class I have taken on Skillshare on project management that I found really helpful was the Introduction to Project Management, and this is methods and tactics for success. And the class is just about how you go about accomplishing big things with many moving pieces while staying organized, sane, on time, and under budget. So it's taught by an expert, of course, and it's Brett Hunt. And this actionable and insightful class has something for everyone. So essential skills on being a PM, the psychology of people management, and how to begin your own project. This class lays out traditional project management methods and then goes beyond the basics to explore the most modern, optimized way to do great work. It's highly beneficial, and I would recommend it to anyone who's looking to be a better project management. So Skillshare is something I highly recommend, and the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click in the link down below will get access to Skillshare for 30 days. And if you miss the opportunity, Skillshare is affordable. For less than $10 a month, you get to learn skills and build on yourself and invest in yourself. So consider it. Link is down below. All right, so I have my lovely red notebook because I have put down a few points just so that I don't forget. Sometimes I get carried away and I'm too passionate about what I'm talking about, so I forget the fundamental points. But I wanted to share with you 3 things that someone should have told me before I started creating content and before I grew my platforms to where they are now. And I will start with number 1. And this has been the biggest one of all. It's a job. Content creation, social media influencer, whatever it is you want to call it, it's a job. What does that mean? It's in 2 parts, meaning you make money. It is a source of income. It pays. So that's the best part, that you do get a check from doing this thing that you love. But number 2 is it's a job because there's a lot of back end stuff that happens. There's admin work, there's production work. It's a job. So I will summarize how this works basically. I might skip a few steps here and there, but I'll give you the general overview. So you're out there living your best life, creating your content, and a brand approaches you and is like, hey, ding ding ding, we have this campaign and we think you're the perfect fit. please share with us your rate card. That's an example. So if you don't have a rate card, then you have to design and create one and then put in your rates, which is a whole different conversation on pricing. But put in your rates and send it back to them. Then they come back to you and say, that's too expensive, or we only want this 3-4 areas activated. Can you please send us a proposal on how you would engage our audience in these spaces? So note, you're not giving them any ideas. It's just an example of how you would. It's a proposal. So you have to go and either learn how to write a proposal, or like I already have a template. So you just go and update that template with the needs of your now potential client. That doesn't take 5 minutes, okay? You have to sit there and craft and write it down and say and say and say. And some brands are specific. They're like, we're activating for 4 weeks. I want 2 pieces of content every week. Articulate, put that down, okay? And then you send it to them. And then they say, fantastic, we're good to go. Send me an estimate of your proposal. We haven't even started creating the content, guys. So you go back and then you write an estimate with an estimate number and blah, 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 and your terms. So you send it back to client or a client's agency. And then they say your estimate is approved. Attached is the contract. Please sign and give it back to us. You're now reading contracts. You read the contract. Make sure you read the fine print. We are living in a digital space, so you have to have a signature app or site that you go to upload the file and sign it. You sign the document. You send it back, they sign it, they send it back to you. So both of you have signed copies of a contract. Make sure they've signed as well or stamped or something, that they have acknowledged that you're in this together. Then after that, the contract of course has when you start, and then now you start. How do you start? It's about sitting down and coming up with ideas, contacting your photographer, videographer, booking location, blah, 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 all the stuff you need, maybe buying the props, blah, 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 getting your hair done. See the process. And then you shoot the content. Some brands trust you and say, you know what, post, and then give us the link once it's live. Others say we want to see before so we can amend, tweak, and then before you go live. So those metrics, you have to think about that. If you're going live on Friday, you can't send approval on Friday, right? So create the content, you post it, it's good. You do your campaign, it's done. You have to put a report together. Dear Mr. Client, thank you so much for partnering with me on this campaign. Attached is I like to do it in a deck. Attached is a PPT of the campaign. So you put your first post and your KPIs and the targets you reached and blah, blah, blah. Second post, same thing. Third post, that thing. And then what worked, what didn't work. I like to just add a slide to give value to my client that this did very well and this didn't do well probably because of this, or it all did well, or it all flopped. It happens. So key learnings, send it to client, and when you're sending that report, you attach your invoice because you gotta get paid. Most clients will not pay you if they have not seen proof of work, because probably it goes to their finance who are like, what is this? We've just been brought in to pay this lady. Who is she? What has she done? So attaching your proof of work and your invoice, let them go hand in hand, and then tell them, please acknowledge receipt of this. The invoice falls on, as per our contract, it falls on X. So they should be running your money at that time. Aren't you a whole corporation? Aren't you a whole LTD? Nelly Mwangi Ltd. It's a job. It's a job. It's a business. And no one tells you that. You just go in with vibes and inshallah, and then you get the shock, the rude shock of, wait, it's not just creating TikToks and dancing videos. There's so much behind the scenes. So think about that. If you can do it by yourself, well and good. If not, get an assistant. If not, outsource. I know there are many companies that do these things for you, but it all depends. With you, just know it's a job. If the light keeps changing, it's because I'm using natural light. I don't have a ring light. I'm sitting next to a row of windows. So if it keeps changing, please forgive me. trying to make this as authentic as possible. But yeah, number 2 is it's lonely. It's a lonely world. It's lonely being a content creator slash influencer. I'm using those terms together because I don't know which one is which. I just know that you're creating content that's being consumed by an audience that trusts you or engages with you, and you know what I mean. So it's lonely. What do I mean about that? What do I mean about it's lonely? If most content creators, I think, are like me, where we are the creative brain behind most of the work we produce. So you don't have a team sitting around brainstorming ideas and throwing around ideas, and you don't have a copywriter who writes your captions, and you don't have a designer who designs your banners and your YouTube pages and your blogs. And most of the time you are doing it yourself. It's a one-man show. There's a lot of lonely time as a content creator when you're coming up with concepts, putting them into ideas that work, toying around back and forth, scraping this one, doing this one. Most of us are even filming ourselves like I am now. I will film this and edit this and then upload it, and then, you know what I mean? I'm not doing that in a group. It's not group work. It's a bit lonely. You spend a lot of time by yourself and no one tells you that. That takes a toll on some people because you just live in this bubble, you know, from sun up to sundown, and when you're coming out for air, you are drained. You are left with nothing to offer. So please know that it is lonely work, doing the work. So make sure it's something you enjoy. Make sure you enjoy your own company. You learn a lot. You learn yourself a lot through those moments. And I just wish someone told me that there's no dream team or whatever. Yeah, it's lonely work. Number 3, and this is just the most boring one, is the more content you create, somehow some people find you and they like you and they follow you and they consume, and 1 like turns into 2 likes, turns into 100 likes, turns into 4,000 likes, turns into 20,000 followers, turns into 50,000 followers, turns into 1,000,000 followers, turns into 100,000 tweets. Whatever platform you're on, you will just wake up and one day you're like, oh my god, do you know how big or wide a field you would need to put 10,000 people standing next to each other? Do you know how many eyeballs? Oh my god, how intimidating is that? Suddenly you have 10,000 human beings who know you exist and have made a conscious choice to click and follow you and watch you just do life or whatever. That's intimidating. What I'm trying to say is you gain popularity, you become a little bit famous, you become a face that people recognize in the supermarket, in the traffic, in whatever. I must say this, I personally didn't start out to create content to be famous. In fact, I think when I was starting out, I don't think there were famous people I knew, I don't know, but I started it, different story, for a whole different reason, and then somehow it just stumbled and rumbled and boom, here I am. I was like in a trolley with my child and you're like, Geek on fashion, Geek on fashion. I am very embarrassed. Well, it's not embarrassed, but it's like I'm very nervous, shy, awkward. I'm very awkward because I feel like, oh my god, like, you know, but it's a very awkward. I've never gotten used to the feeling. It's very awkward. It's very strange, but at the same time I want to smile and give you a hug and say thank you for consuming my content and indulging in my madness, and thank you for just being this online community that's amazing, and we're supporting each other and just enjoying life. But with that comes the other side of it, which no one ever tells you. It's oh, that's the wind. The other side is people can be very mean, and the meanness comes from what I have mentioned in another video. It comes from, they dehumanize you, so you stop being a real thing. You become like, I'm trying to find the right words, you stop being a human being and you become like character. Maybe that's a good word. A character in a film, a character in a book, a character in something. And they feel like they have the right to have an opinion, to bully, to troll, to whatever it is, to dehumanize you in whatever way they feel that they can. And you have to sit there and take it, because there's this phrase that I love to hate. It says, you put yourself out there, what do you expect? You put yourself out there, we will have opinions. You put yourself out there, we will judge. You put yourself out there. I put myself out there, and you can also choose to not consume, indulge, become this toxic space, because I'm sure whatever I'm putting out there is not toxic. I'm not coming out here and like gossiping and and all that stuff. I'm coming and putting out content. I feel like it's light, it's fun, it's engaging, it's educational, it's, you know what I mean, it's inspiring, blah blah blah. So that confuses me a lot when people say you put it out there, so expect the violence on social media, expect the violence online, expect it. No, that is going low. How about we go high? I have consumed content and I was like, that left me feeling like so all I do is log off, disengage. Never have I ever, even before I even opened a Facebook account, felt the need to go and no. Guys, our parents would be very disappointed with us if they knew what we were doing on the internet to other people. Imagine if your mother just saw your posts and saw what you do and saw how you talk to people. She can just be like, whose child is this? I think we can do better. Not I think, we can do better, because we are human beings. Please start seeing content creators as human beings who have families, who have children, who have employees, who are employees. You know what I mean? So yes, when you start creating content, you are going to be famous, you're going to be a face that's recognized, and then with that will come all this stuff. There are people that, this is funny, there are people who say they went to high school with me, and they even read the name of the high school, and I'm like, where is that school? Where is that school? Because I don't even know where that school is. So you get you see what I mean? Everybody suddenly just has an opinion, and others will even try to change you and be like, you shouldn't be like this. No, you shouldn't be like this. Be more like this. Talk lower. Be softer. Be harder. Be bigger. This door, sorry. Be bigger. Be smaller. Be this. Be less this. Be more of this. You know what I mean? So you have to learn to just block the noise. And this whole thing of have thick skin. No, how about you become softer so that I don't have to grow any thick skin? How about you talk to me like you talk to me when you see me? Because when you see me, you're not coming with the violence. You're coming with like the love and the hugs. Why are you this person behind the keyboard? Yeah. So if you're creating content, I think that those are the 3 things you need to know. It's a job. It's lonely, honey. And you will get popular, you'll get famous, you will get recognized, and with that there's the good and there's the bad. And because the good is those who rally for you. Okay, I need to close this door. I'm sorry, I had to close that door. And what will happen is those who ride for you will ride for you, and they will speak your name in rooms that you don't exist, and they will speak your name when campaigns are being arranged or created, and they will push for you, and they will rally for you, and they will buy your product, and they will empower you, and you will empower them, and it's just a beautiful symbiotic relationship. So don't let that put you off. I'm just updating you that sometimes the streets is messy, but also the streets is kind, and the streets is supportive, and there are amazing people out there, and you can connect with like across the world. Okay, my loves. Okay, all right, and that's this week's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're a content creator, what are some of the things that just made you go like, wow, why am I choosing this path? And what are the things that surprised you in a lovely way? And what are the things that you just your experience? I'd love to hear from you. And if you are going to create content, let these things help you, guide you as you're doing that. And I wish you all the best in your journey. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in my next video. I'm sending you lots of love and light.